Hey guys, it is Jimmy with Swiss Realty here. And in today's video, we're going to be doing a case study of one of the deals that my client has recently closed. So we're going to first look at the listing. And after that, we're going to go through all the numbers so you can understand why this is a good deal. We're going to look at the rent comps, ARV comps, the estimated renovation budget, my personal investor thoughts on why the deal looks good. And then at the very end, we're going to put in all the numbers into the investment calculator and see what kind of returns that my client is getting from this one deal. So with that being said, the deal that is in question that we're looking at today is 639 Deer Road, Columbus, Ohio, 43204. So my client, as you can see right here, he closed on it at $145,000. This is a duplex. It's duplex. It has 2 units and each unit is a 2-1. All right. It's 1684 square feet. Obviously, it's a 1953 house. It's a little bit of an older property. Again, that is to be expected. If you want to find positive cash flow in these really good investment deals, you have to understand you're not buying new builds. You're going to be typically buying older houses. We closed on this property in February of this year. So roughly a month or two ago. So again, this is a very recent deal as well too. So with that being said, let's dive a little bit deeper into this property. So here's the exterior, as you can see right here. Again, there's no interior photos. All right. So the first thing I want to show you guys first is, me as an investor agent, I am always going to walk these properties for you anytime we're interested in a property. Again, before we even submit an offer, I'm going to go walk the property for you guys. All right. And when I walk the property for you guys, I give you my estimated renovation budget, my scope of work, my investor thoughts on the property. And obviously, my goal is to make sure our scope of work and our numbers make sense well before we submit the offer. Okay. So when I walk these properties for you, you're going to hear everything from me. You're going to hear my scope of work. You're going to hear, I'm going to be like, hey, we need all new LVP here. We need new roof. There's a water stain right there. We need to redo the kitchen cabinets. We need to redo the HVAC. You're going to hear all my commentary with that. So I'm just going to really quickly just show you guys how the inside looks. So this is one unit, as you can see right here. So you can see one unit right here is a hoarder unit. As we can just see, it looks really bad. Like it's kind of, again, it's going to need to be fully replaced, as you can see. So again, we're budgeting one unit. It's going to need like a full renovation when it comes to all new cosmetics, new flooring, new paint, new kitchen. You can just see from literally this video how it looks. All right. So it's going to need a new bathroom as well too. So everything needs to be basically replaced. For this unit, we are budgeting around $30,000, or if I'm not mistaken, $35,000, 30 to 35. And then for the other unit, it does look significantly a lot better. So here's the other unit. I believe. Yeah, so here's the other unit. It looks in much better shape, as you can tell right here. The flooring still looks good. The paint still looks good. Obviously, still needs some cosmetic updating. But for this one, we're budgeting 10 to 15. Long story short, like for the really bad unit, we're budgeting 30 to 35. We're budgeting 10 to 15. And again, it's just because, again, I took a look at everything. Obviously, this one unit, it just needs so much less than cosmetics because, again, it's been taken care of. It's been very well maintained, versus the other one is a hoarder unit. You're going to have to basically replace everything. Okay. So that's the quick. So next up, we're going to look at the rent comps. All right. So the rent comps, we want to look for obviously things are same bedrooms, same bathrooms, and similar square footage. All right. And obviously, as you can tell from our listing, I'm going to show you right here. It's around 1,700 square feet. So roughly 850 is the square footage. And again, we have 2 ones right here, as you can see, that are being rented at $15 or $1,150 a month or $1,200 a month. So again, this is the market rent, as you can see right here. Again, in my opinion, this 750 is an outlier. This unit was probably not renovated or just in really bad shape. So this is the market rent, and this is what I had it at as well too. And I know this area very well. I own many rentals in this area. Again, for a 2-1, you are looking at $1,200 a month in market rents. And next up, so now we're going to look at some ARV comps. Okay. So ARV comp wise, we have this duplex, pretty much very similar to our duplex as well too. It's 1,700 square feet, literally the same exact square footage. It has a 2-1 on each side. Each 2-1 is also currently rented at $1,200 a month as well. And the ARV for this one, as you can see, it's sold for $265. All right. So at $265. If you look at the inside photos, you could just see it just looks in very good interior cosmetic, a kitchen, flooring, paint, bathrooms. It looks really nice. and it sold at 265. So again, that's what we're working with here. Long story short, if we were to renovate this property, which again, we bought for 145 and we did a really nice renovation, it would sell for around roughly 265, which again, this is the comp, this is the ARV comp that we're using right now. Then very lastly, we're going to look at the location as well too. So this is the location. And anytime I do walkthroughs for any of my clients, I always make sure to do a video walkthrough of the surrounding neighborhood. I'm even going to walk through the neighborhood so you can see how everything looks. And I'll give you like my commentary on, oh, do the neighbors take care of their lawns? Or does it feel very residential here? Like, how do the cars look? Like, I'm going to basically give you like my insight and my commentary as I walk and do a 360 of the neighborhood. So you kind of see how the location looks in real time as well too. So I do that for all my clients. When I walk these properties, I give you my scope of work, my renovation budget, my investor thoughts on the property, my numbers. And lastly, I also walk the property so again, you can see how the location looks like in real time. All right. So again, so that's the whole 360 right there. And just to recap off this deal, here's why, in my opinion, why I really like this deal and why I decided it was a really good fit for my client. The reason why is because again, you have two units that are 2-1s on each side. Each 2-1, as you can tell from the Renometer report, will rent for $1,200 a month. All right. So that's $2,400 a month in gross rent. We are exceeding the 1% rule by a huge margin. Yes, this property does need work. Okay. There's no obviously denying that. This property, what I budgeted for was $50,000 in terms of renovations, because obviously there's the one that needs the full replacement for everything. That one's 30 to 35. Or the one that looks a lot better. So total, we're looking at $50,000 in terms of renovation. However, even if you put in $50,000 to obviously renovate and get this property rent ready and get it up to market rents, your all in is going to be at $195. When your all in is at $195, but you're able to gross $2,400 a month in market rent, that is exceeding the 1% rule by a huge margin, which again, for me, that's an amazing deal. And on top of that as well too, we also have an ARV comp that's sold for 265. That means there's $60,000 or $70,000 worth of equity after we renovate the property. That is an incredible deal. We're hitting the 1% rule by a ton, and we have $70,000 worth of equity. That's an amazing deal. And in my opinion, I love the location. I own a lot of rentals in this area. Again, I own a lot of rentals and I would not be buying an area that, again, I was not a huge fan of. So then very lastly, we're going to put in the numbers into the Excel calculator just so you can see what the actual returns look like on this property. I've already put in some of the data for the property. Purchase price, we're looking at 145, as you can see right here. We're going to put 20% down payment. So with this property, even though my buyer, yes, he did buy it with cash, I'm just going to use conventional financing just to make it easier for everyone to obviously understand, because most of my clients do use traditional financing. So we're going to use 20% down payment. Okay. And then, because obviously when you buy an investment property, you do need to put a minimum of 20 to 25% down for an investment property here. And then for closing costs, that is going to be typically 1.5% of the purchase price. That's just a general rule of thumb, of course, but usually it is around 1.5% of the purchase price. So down payment wise, we're looking at $29,000. Closing fees, as you can see right here, and then a repairs estimate, we're looking at $50,000. So if you were to buy this property with traditional financing, your total cash to close and actually turn over the units to renovate it to get it rent ready again, you are looking at roughly $81,000. Okay, so next up for the interest rate, we're looking at 6.4%. Again, that's as of March 30th, 2026 right now. The average interest rate is around mid sixes as we speak right now. And then obviously we're going to do a 30-year fixed term. So, again, that's the most regular, typical conventional financing loan right here. It's usually going to be a 30-year fixed loan. And then next up, so obviously we're going to take 6% appreciation year over year. Again, this is Columbus, Ohio. It's one of the fastest growing and appreciating markets throughout the entire US. So here, we're just going to take 6% for appreciation year over year, which again, that is very normal here in the Columbus, Ohio market. And obviously the cost to sell it is going to be roughly 8%. And then holding period, we're just, again, using some general numbers right here. It's going to be 10 years. So we're going to use market rents after we renovate it, which is going to be $1,200 a month each side. And on top of that too, we have already our mortgage payment right here for the property taxes already pulled up from the auditor site. So again, I already inputted that. For insurance. Again, this is just my ballpark, but we're probably looking at I would say $100 a month for a property like this of this purchase price and obviously of this size. And then next up, we're going to look at repairs and maintenance. So typically when it comes to reserves, I always use 855, 8% for PM fees, repairs and maintenance together. So I am not one of those people that uses 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. The reason why is because if you are overly conservative, then again, there will never be a deal that will make sense for you. Because again, you are basically outpricing yourself. Because again, for a deal, even let's say really hits the 1% rule, but you have some crazy reserves that you're obviously budgeting for, again, it's going to be negative cash flowing still. So again, it is smart to be conservative, but not overly conservative. So I do personally use 5.5 again for my reserves. Now, obviously, as you can see right here, 8% for PM fees, as I mentioned earlier, 5% for vacancy, and obviously 5% for repairs and maintenance. Okay, so after putting in all the numbers, here's how the numbers look. So your cash on cash return is 14%. Your cash flow for this property is around $11,500, and your NOI is $20,000 a year. So with that being said, your monthly cash flow is $959 a month, which is absolutely insane. You're making roughly $11,500 a month annually. So that is absolutely crushing it. And again, you can see the cash on cash return. Obviously, to obviously buy a property like this one, you do have to put a lot into renovation. Some people will not want to obviously put this much money into renovations. But again, if you obviously are okay with more renovations and more work involved, you will see much higher returns, as you can see in this example right here. So with that being said, this is the quick summary on how the property looks. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Again, if you are looking to work with me, I would love to take you guys on as clients. I help my investors find their next buy and hold, flip, short-term, mid-term rentals here in the Columbus, Ohio market. I've done well over 30 plus million in terms of real estate sales. On top of that, I've helped many clients at this point, nearly 200 real estate clients close on their first investment property over the last 2 years. So again, I would love to help you guys with that. So if you are definitely want to work with me, feel free to reach out and I would love to help you guys with that. Thank you so much.